There's only one Southern California. No other place like it in the world. And in this 6-county, 38,000 square mile region of 189 cities and more than 19 million residents, there's only one organization performing long-range integrated planning for transportation, land use, and air quality. At this organization, under the guidance of the Regional Council and in collaboration with our partners, we facilitate a forum to develop and foster the realization of regional plans that improve the quality of life for Southern Californians. This organization is the Southern California Association of Governments, also known as SCAG. As the nation's largest metropolitan planning organization and council of governments, SCAG serves multiple roles. From the Regional Transportation Plan, Congestion Management Studies, and Compass Blueprint demonstration projects, to growth forecasting and geographic information systems data, SCAG is working to provide quality services to its member jurisdictions. The seeds that grew into SCAG's 2010 accomplishments were planted years earlier through an initiative called the Force for Change.
With Force for Change, which came into being in 2007, we were able to set up a new strategy as far as how we approach business for the future. And with that, it has evolved into the next two presidents, President Dixon and now President Edney. And they've taken that and they've refined the organization to a much greater degree. We do business much differently now than we did prior to the Force for Change. And we have developed a business plan out of our strategy, which allows us to go forward and to accomplish things that we never would have dreamed about before because we just didn't work the same way. The bottoms-up approach has helped us to really be the best that SCAG can be.
The SCAG strategic plan process was one of the most unique processes I've seen in my 12 years of public government. The interaction and the collaboration between elected officials was significant at SCAG. I think half of the elected body of SCAG participated. Over 75% of the SCAG staff participated. It's obviously very difficult in an organization that's been around for 40 years to significantly change the culture and the interaction. We've been very successful at it, and it started under the previous president, Gary Ovitt, with our Force of Change Committee, and it's continued through these last couple of years. And so we've got to the point where our members believe that we provide a credible service to them, and it's a collaborative effort. It's not SCAG telling them what to do. It's not us being an agent for the federal government. It's working together, and it's why people talk about the new SCAG, because they see it and they're living it every day.
SCAG's focus on service delivery to its membership improved this year with enhancements at SCAG's 5 regional offices, including the installation of video conferencing equipment that connects to 19 different sites through audio and video.
I think the satellite offices will really help in getting more of our members actively involved. With the modern technology we have, the video conferencing, you can sit, as I'm sitting right here, and go through a whole meeting. You can see the PowerPoint, you can read it, you're actively involved, and that's something we've never had before.
Better service to our members wasn't SCAG's only improvement this year. The agency also enhanced its partnership with the business community.
Last year, December 3rd, we have one of the most successful interaction between public and private entities to talk about policies that affect both the public and private sector.
This joint meeting brought together SCAG's Regional Council and Policy Committees, the Southern California Leadership Council, the Global Land Use Council, 2 former California governors, the Speaker of the California Assembly, the Chair of the California Air Resources Board, and the chief executive officers from each county transportation commission in the region.
With all of the good planning and all the planning expertise that is in this room, there does have to be a basic realism do the most important things first.
We have to be honest about some of the roadblocks confronting us and deal with those issues straight up.
We have succeeded when we have succeeded by finding the right incentives for the best technologies to come forward.
It is a time for us to really look at doing things differently. I mean, if ever there was a time for flexibility in so many different areas, I think we all need to just take a step back and see how we can be more flexible.
This was an historic gathering of business, political, and government leaders in one room, speaking as one voice for Southern California and delivering that message to Sacramento. And that message is getting through. SCAG achieved an historic legislative milestone with the passage of AB 1403, sponsored by State Assemblyman Mike Eng, which eliminated the $1 million cap on SCAG's share of Transportation Development Act sales tax funds.
When this agency was created in 1965, a cap was placed on its funding from Transportation Development Act money. That cap limited the funding to $1 million. So the agency has been getting $1 million from TDA in 1965 and $1 million in 2010. That's not right. It is the only MPO, the only Metropolitan Planning Organization in the state out of 17 that has that cap. So we introduced a bill, thanks to Assemblyman Mike Eng, who sponsored the bill, to remove that cap, to bring the funding from $1 million to $4.5 million.
But this bill moves us forward. It moves us into the new century. It moves us into a new economy. It places us in our proper position, which is that we are an international bellwether for where the United States economy will grow. And I think that's why I'm very, very proud that this Assembly bill lifts the cap, removes the barriers, if you will, and allows us to go over the hill and through the dale and reach our goals. And we can all do it together in a way that's respectful, that brings us together in a bipartisan way, and gives us more resources at the same time while we're avoiding taxes.
The most important thing of this bill, more than the money, is the recognition on the part of our transportation commissions that SCAG as their MPO is playing an important role, and for that they needed more funding. So these commissions charge themselves additional funding to get to this agency, and this is the greatest recognition that the agency should get for the work that they have been doing for the last 3 years.
AB 1403 enhances SCAG's long-term ability to continue important regional planning work, which includes meeting the requirements of SB 375, the landmark legislation requiring the integration of transportation, land use, and environmental planning. The agency held nearly 100 workshops, events, and briefings on SB 375 with key stakeholders and worked with all 14 subregions on developing a collaborative process framework.
You know, I think SCAG was ahead of the game. Before SB 375, we were handing out blueprint awards, grant funds, so different communities can put together sustainable community strategies, essentially, what's being called for with SB 375. And as a result of that, I think we're in better stead in making those plans, putting them in place. And SCAG is also out there providing even more grant funds to help people put together these plans and see them into fruition. My goal as a representative of SCAG is to make sure that what targets are set are both ambitious and achievable, with a highlight on the word achievable.
Achieving the best for the region is a key SCAG goal. Another important goal is helping people learn more about SCAG. One way we achieve this is through our website, where visitors can watch live and archived video of regional council meetings and other SCAG-related productions. A click on the SCAG TV link takes you to SCAG videos on the agency's site and to YouTube as well. SCAG has also entered the world of social networking. You can become a fan of SCAG on Facebook and follow the agency on Twitter. While these and other tools are essential to getting the job done right, the most important components of SCAG's success are quality leadership and a dedicated staff.
I might be biased by saying this, but I have probably the best collection of staff anybody could have. And the reason I say that is under a very difficult circumstances, these staff have continued to excel and work hard to make sure that the lives of the 19 million for this place that we call Southern California, we call home, is better. They're committed, they're talented, they're absolutely the best there are. Now, for every time you mention staff, you cannot definitely say that staff by themselves can do this. It is always a partnership between staff and their board members. And the board members in this case allow the staff to excel. The board members understand their role of making policy, and the staff's role is to provide information. And I'm proud of both entities that they did what they're supposed to do. The staff provided information, the board member provided policy direction. That's why the agency is much better for it.
I think the SCAG staff is a tremendous asset to the organization. They've worked very hard under very difficult and trying circumstances with the economy and the cuts in the budget. They've come together as a team, and between the regional council and the staff, we have a top-notch organization that we can be very proud of.
This year under President Edney has been a great year for SCAG, another great year for SCAG. When Supervisor Ovid started the Force for Change 3 years ago, he outlined initiatives that needed to be taken to change SCAG to the better. And he needed President Dixon and President Edney to implement those initiatives. I believe President Edney and President Dixon did just that.
I've had an opportunity to participate with SCAG in a variety of areas and a variety of functions and a variety of roles. What I like the most about it is when I travel, and I travel to Sacramento, and I travel all over Southern California, and I travel to Washington, D.C., the respect that's gained by the organization. It's not me as an individual, it's not the officers, it's not just the staff or the executive director, it's the credibility as an organization that when we talk, people want to hear what we have to say because they see that as a partnership and they see that as a collaborative effort in where we're working together to solve regional problems.
The SCAG region represents one of the largest economies in the world and is a gateway to international trade. The regional planning decisions made at the Southern California Association of Governments have significant implications for our region and beyond. As we move through the 21st century, collaboration with all of our partners will be essential to the sustainability of our region. We're ready for the challenge. Moving forward, planning together.